Most of us intend to be achievers in life. We all want to achieve our goals and move forward to success and growth. When it comes to this particular mentality of achievement, it's extremely vital to understand that it can be developed and it needs to be nurtured over a period of time. So, how do we develop and nurture the mentality of high achievement? There are eight key elements pertaining to achievement mentality and how it can be developed. So, the first point is, in case you want to develop your mentality or mindset in terms of high achievement, the first point is understand that there would always be constraints. Regardless of whatever you do, there are going to be some or the other factors which are going to be a constraint for you. So many of us look at money or finances as a constraint. However, let me tell you, even billionaires have constraints. So for them, possibly money or wealth is not a constraint. For them, time may be a constraint, or not being able to spend time with their loved ones may be a constraint. So understand that to develop an achievement mentality, you have to understand that regardless of whatever is the scenario, there will always be some constraint or the other. And the only way to achieve more is to accept the fact that there would be constraints always, regardless of which position you are in your life or in your career. The next point pertaining to the achievement mentality is to understand that reasons and excuses, which are always there, especially when we are not doing well or we fail, many of us prefer to give reasons and excuses. So, as less excuses or reasons we provide or try to find out, that's going to be extremely important in case we want to be a high achiever. So, high achievers try to avoid giving reasons. Of course, excuses they completely avoid. So, in case there is something which goes wrong, they try to go beyond the reason and try to ensure that they move on to do well in whatever they need to do without offering any reasons or unwarranted excuses. The third point is doing versus trying. High achievers focus on doing. Unfortunately, people who are not great achievers just try. So, in case you want to achieve a lot in life, you will need to focus on these two alphabets, which is do, rather than these three alphabets, which is try. And in case you focus on do, rather than just trying something, because the word do is associated with power. It's something which you want to do for yourself. However, the word try possibly is associated with an external force, or possibly you have been asked to do something or you're forced to do something. So even in your communication, try not to utilize the word try. Use words that I will and I would definitely do what is required for me to complete this task or assignment. So focusing on the do is going to be extremely important. The next point in terms of the achiever's mentality is to embrace risk. So achievers know that there's a risk associated with everything, and for success and growth, it is imperative to embrace risk. The next point is to learn to accept failure, which is extremely vital because everyone, including high achievers or top performers, or for that matter, successful people, everyone has to go through failure at some point of time or the other. And it's extremely vital for all of us who seek to develop an attitude or mentality of achievement to focus on this element and ensure that we are able to manage the overall process in a robust manner and learn to accept failure as much as possible. The seventh point is focus on solutions rather than the problems. High achievers focus on being a part of the solution and look at every opportunity to solve problems. And that's going to be extremely vital for developing a mentality of achievement. The last point pertaining to developing the achievement mentality is always focus on being active rather than passive. You have to be proactive in every situation, and that's going to be extremely important because for every achiever, it's all about action, it's all about execution. Of course, strategizing, brainstorming, ideating, all of these are great. However, what's more important is the implementation on the ground. So these are the 8 elements that you need to focus on to develop the mentality of achievement or high achievement. So 1, understanding that there would be constraints along the way. 2, try not to provide reasons and excuses. 3rd is to do rather than just try. 4th, try to embrace risk. The 5th point pertains to learn to accept failure. The next point focuses on being a part of the solution and focus on solving problems. And the last point is to be active rather than passive. So if you focus on these key elements, you are definitely going to be a high achiever and going to reach all the goals or achieve all the goals, professional or personal, that you have set for yourself. All the very best.